welcome to this video. This video is basically going to be focusing on the Visica Picsis, the fish bladder. Pisces, like Pisces the fish, vesica is like the vessie in French, which is the bladder, and I think that's allegorical to an actual visual representation of a fish bladder. But also, for me, this is the symbol of the third eye, and it also makes me think of the Christian fishy symbols that we see on the back ends of cars. And Pisces is obviously related to the astrological period of Jesus being or Christianity being the dominant faith on the earth. But for me, I'm also very much suspecting that this fish shape here is actually in reality representing this fish tail here. Even if we were to cut that off here and get rid of this, we'd have this sort of fish tail here. So that for me indicates that possibly this symbol is actually on a deeper level referring to a third eye teaching. So I also will point out that, for example, if this was the 0 or 360 point here and we were going around clockwise in degrees here, then this point where these two cross over, it would be 30 degrees. Where they cross over is precise because this point here and this point here is the center of these two circles. This is the center of this circle, and that is the radius, therefore. And these are two circles of the exact same radius that cross over this way. Now, if I was to continue down in degrees here, that's my 90-degree point on this circle, and so on and so forth until I get down here, and that is my 150 degrees point there. And then on the other side, if I was going down here, 90 point, 180 point, and this point here would be 210 degrees, whilst coming up through here this would be 330 degrees. Obviously these two guys add together to give 360 here. The root number here is a 3, the root number here is a 6, and then that flips over. The root number here is the 3 in blue and 6 in red on this side. It's not a very significant fact that they add up to 360, because if I was to take any point and look at if I was to take a point here, which on this, going around in this direction, this would be 270, let's say it's the 300 point, then going around, if we were to turn the circle, flip it this way, and there that we were going through round the other way, this would also be the 60-degree point here. So that's always going to be the case, if you like. But also these are quite significant numbers in general in the theory. The one number that really jumps out for me in this is the 9,216, which is the amount of years that we spend in plane 11, the controllers of others creations. And for me, I see the 9 here in the 3s. 33 is also the age of Jesus when he is crucified, and I see the 9 there, I see the 2 and the 1 there, and I see the 6 there. But so I don't know whether that's really a relevant factor, and that is the representative number of the fully awakened state. But in the fully awakened state, we also have the third eye open, And this Visica Picsis is for me a third eye training, or also a teaching. So how can I relate that in terms of the rebirth teaching? So we've got our 2 discs, equal size here, and so one disc would represent the internal world, or our internal observation, self-awareness. So we've got the physical, we've got the emotional, and we've got the mental. In yoga we talk about sheaths or bodies, and when these align, resonate harmoniously together, when we're able to hold that awareness cyclically, like the nonagon is a continuous line going around just like a circle, and when we're able to hold that awareness consciously, then we're resonating harmoniously internally. Then the yogi at this point can either choose to keep the attention internally, which takes it into deeper concentrations, breaking down almost the structure of physical matter, energy, emotional matter, mental matter, as we go more and more refined with our consciousness. Or there is a possibility for the yogi to expand the consciousness outwards to encompass the field sphere all about him, and that's what I'd say would be the second circle in this instance. So once we become aware, once we choose to redirect our attention towards the outer sphere, outer attention, then the internal and the external world can start to resonate, vibrate, and become more harmonious as well in their vibration. And this is where these 2 fields of awareness start to resonate and start to come together. And when this happens, this is when we get a growing intensity at the point of the third eye, and that is a point where we can blimp out, where we can get caught up in distraction, mind streams can start to kick in, draw us off our point of balance, our point of internal balance. And if, however, we are able to stay with that and stay on the seat of consciousness, then the intensity can go up to the crown of the head, and the intensity that goes up to the crown of the head is actually the pressure of the membrane, the energetic membrane that I talk about now, starting to press down on the top of the head, or the top of the head starting to press up on the energetic sphere or membrane. And then if we're able to hold that, then slowly that draws down, the head starts to push through, and this is the opening up of the third eye. Now let me bring this guy in. So this is a mandala of the circle split up into 9 equal sections, and within that I've drawn on the regular pointed 9-pointed star, the expanded 9-pointed star, the enagon or the nonagon as it's also known, and also the 9-pointed equilateral star made up of 3 equilateral triangles. So from each point there is 8 rayons that come out and point and connect to all the other dots around the circumference of the circle. And so when these 2 come together here, we've got double information here. Now this is a little bit like those 3D pictures that many of you will have seen at some point or other, where what we see is like a poster which is full of lots of coloured specks of different sorts, and it doesn't look like much, except above it it says the Statue of Liberty, and you're like, yeah, okay. And however, once one is able to switch one's way of looking at the picture, all of a sudden a 3D Statue of Liberty comes out of the picture, and we're able to see very, very clearly that there's a Statue of Liberty there. So same is true here. We get these two circles, which in practice terms still is awareness of the internal sphere, awareness of the external sphere, holding these two spaces together. And as these two align and merge, then the vibration resonates that to a certain point that the third eye starts to open. And when this opens up, what we get is we do start to see this in a 3D image, where we can see these two circles here at the same time. In the middle here, this opens and expands itself up, and it duplicates the other two circles. So it's a circle within its own right, a third circle, which is also, I put it here, it also stands out in a sort of 3D way, but it's an identical replication. When you expand out all these crisscross lines, you get a replica of the original nine spoked mandala when you just see one of these circles. So what you've got there is you're seeing in another dimension, you're seeing the two base circles, which is awareness of internal factors, awareness of external factors perched at the sense doors. But then you're seeing that third, because we're seeing through the third eye at that point with the third eye open, then we're seeing it all in a completely new light, in a different light. We're seeing a different perspective on things, perspective change. So it's exactly the same as what was there all about us at any point and within us, but now we have a different perspective and distance on it. And that's what I think is the meaning for me and for this teaching of rebirthing behind the Visica Picsis. And this is also why the division, dioxide, two oxides, division, double vision is important in this teaching. The division is in the text, it's the division of the numbers. And here it's a division of our conceptual awareness between the inner field and the outer field. I will try and put this up on the website as a download, so people can also take a bit of time and have a look at the Visica Picsis with the nine spoked mandala, or whatever it's called. So that is the Visica Picsis. Thanks for watching.